Kutemande fulukaiwe Echikashanana kutemande fulukaiwe Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye Tandale mashayo samatauni Tandale mashayo samatauni Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye Twenda babiri, twenda batatu, no maite wadi. Yes, baby. Twenda babiri, twenda batatu, no maite wadi. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Mufolo wala tusanga para pachamburi. Yes, baby. Mufolo wala tusanga tule kulolera. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Ngole fire kuti yaye chiyeye. Tandale mashayo samatauni. Yes, baby. Tandale mashayo samatauni. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Twenda babiri, twenda batatu, no maite wadi. Yes, baby. Twenda babiri, twenda batatu, no maite wadi. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Mufolo wala tusanga para pachamburi. Yes, baby. Mufolo wala tusanga tule kulolera. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Yes, baby. Igenu mapata vana mulenga yaye chiyeye. Ngole fire kuti kopande na iwe sheri wandi. Ulechinikisha unalava imisango yove iyo wabilamu yakale. Ngole fire kuti kopande na iwe sheri wandi. Ulechinikisha unalava imisango yove iyo wabilamu yakale. Yo 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 yo. Yo 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 Ngole fire kuti kopande na iwe sheri wandi. Ilati no kuti ulela ba imisango yove. Ula imisango yove yo abilamu yakale. Yo 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 yo. Yo 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 yo
Hello, good evening, Chuempala. Chuempala time it's 21:41. I don't know what time it is in Calgary, but here we are. Elias Munsha here with my co-host, Mr. Norman Paku, also known as General. We would like to welcome each and every person who is joining us tonight. And we can see that there is something that you can do about our broadcast tonight. It's to share with as many people as possible and invite as many people as possible, because we have the first firing and the first hirings from the security wings under the Hakainde Hichilema administration. So we are going to be discussing that for a little bit. General, good evening.
Good evening, Chuempala. Good evening, Mumbwa. And I think good evening, Copperbelt, my lovely people in the Copperbelt. Good evening, Livingston. In Scotland, tonight is 2041. That is Scottish time. My born in Scotland, but I'm in Lusaka today, Musha. How have you been, Musha? And happy Sunday to you.
Thank you. Now, already I can see some comments that, General, you need to help me with my connection. They're saying that you are so clear and I'm not.
Munsha, you know, Ama level. They call them Ama level in Zambia.
So in Ama levels, they are higher.
Ama levels are high, Munsha. I have I think one of the best connections in Zambia. And I should say thank you so much to my family for providing this connection. It's fantastic. It's really lovely.
Yeah, it's clear. You're actually much more clearer than in Scotland. So you might think Scotland.
Yeah, I think I'm shifting. I'm just shifting. I'm moving. I just have to get a container to get my stuff. I am so excited, Musha. I've had a beautiful day today. I've visited a lot of friends and had time with my family. I also had a lot of good time with friends. One of them is a young man called Keno Isaac Mvula. I met him 41 years ago when I trained him in the army. And I had lunch with Isaac. I just hope he's watching. Isaac, young man, he made me proud. And to come and visit me today and to have lunch together. And I also had lunch with another friend who was a very staunch UPND supporter, fighting very hard with the team, the UPND team in Zambia, Victor Kanyese. If he's listening and watching, thank you, Victor, for joining us today for lunch. And I've had a lot of phone calls, Musha, lots of phone calls. And I think my first interview on the radio tomorrow, Hot FM, which is appearing on Wednesday, too many meetings, too many phone calls. But most important thing was to enjoy the family. Enjoy the family and also visiting friends. One of my friends who lost her husband Mrs. Mangala Zalumis, I was able to go and pay my condolences to the family. So it has been a day of family today.
Right. For me, I think I went to church as usual, because even if I were pente, I couldn't go to State House ku church ya Katolika, because they are Katolika. So I went to Katolika. So I went to church ya Pente Grace Ministries. After that, I immediately drove off to Ngwerere to meet. Guess who I was meeting, General?
Well, I got the news that you were meeting the one and only Honorable Panji Kaunda. That was kind of you to do that, Musha.
Yeah, it was. It was very historic.
I call him Keno Panji Chimtengo Forest Kaunda. That's what I call him. That's what I called him yesterday.
I don't think he was amused. How can you transfer the name of Tasila Chimtengo Forest Lungu Mukula and then you take it to Kaneo Kaunda? That's not fair. I'm going to fight on his behalf.
No, he was not amused at all. He wasn't amused. I apologize for that. But I respect him for his principles. I respect him for standing up, for what is good for the country. And I really I have a lot of respect for Keno Kaunda, and also have a lot of respect for how he handled his daddy's funeral. And there were a lot of issues. Yeah. Yesterday, I sat down with him to hear more stories and a lot of things which we didn't know. For him to lead his family during a very difficult time, it was really a privilege to sit down with him, to hear the whole story from the horse's mouth. And for me, I met Kaweche Kaunda as well, just to hear how they handled the whole situation as a family, the court case and what led to the court case, and also to just hear how they want to take the whole thing forward. And what was interesting also is to hear how they want to keep the legacy of the old man. And for me, that's one area I was very, very keen to hear.
All right. Okay. Now, General.
Over to you, Musha.
There is a matter that we must debate with
it
our
looks
resident.
Like our viewers, Musha is definitely having problems with his. Are you able to hear me, Musha?
General, I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm here. It is you who has the network problem. Me, I'm very clear completely.
Musha, your line is very bad. Yeah, your line is not very good, Musha. I'm not sure what the problem is.
No. General is saying that it is my line which is bad. It's actually his line that is bad, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I think General's line is quite bad at the moment. Advocate Melissa. General, your line was bad. So you see, you busted too quickly. You know, you were like you busted too quickly. You were like your link has got levels.
Good evening.
Oh. So General, how can your levels, Atama levels, but it can't keep up? No. So
I think I should
please
just apologize.
Do not emulate
I am not able to hear what you are saying because of the line, which is not good. So, but all the same, let me welcome our advocate Melissa this evening. How are you, sir?
Good evening, General. Welcome to Lusaka.
I hope you gentlemen, you're not able to hear, and our viewers to hear the background noise of my dogs here.
We can hear them.
You can hear them. You can hear them.
Yes.
So go ahead, Musha. I think I'll mute you myself until when I'm able to talk. Until these boys outside behave.
Okay. Now, Advocate Malisa, there is debate going on about the appointment of Stumbeko Musokotwane. Let me give you a background. And if you hold a different view, we are going to differ right here in public. And I know that the Law Association of Zambia doesn't want you lawyers to be differing in public. So me, I'm not a member of the Law Association of Zambia. So I'm at liberty. Okay.
Oh,
my regulators don't mind. My regulators in Alberta, they don't care. You know, they don't care about lawyers.
You want to get me in trouble with my regulators here.
No, but they should change. Your regulators here should change. This thing of muzzling lawyers, no, you can't say that and that. It's antiquated. Did I use a very antiquated term? It's antiquated. Anyway.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So the provision of the law is that the president appoints from among the members of parliament his cabinet. Now,
yes.
There is an article somewhere where they are saying that the parliament, somebody becomes a member of parliament after they are sworn in. And so the president then must wait for MPs to be sworn in first before he appoints a cabinet. And my opinion is there is no need to wait until people are sworn in as MPs in order for the president to appoint a cabinet. That's why Stumbeko Musokotwane's appointment is perfectly constitutional and legal. In fact, it is within practice in Zambia from 1964 to the present. The Zambian president does not wait for members of parliament to be sworn in before they are appointed ministers. That is exactly what has happened. This is what Chiluba did in 1991. This is what Mwanawasa did. This is what all presidents do. And so that argument that the appointment is not perfect is neither here nor there. Now, Advocate Malisa, do you agree with me or not?
Unfortunately, I have to agree with you. I would have loved to differ with you.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I would have loved to differ with you so that we argue in public. So, yeah, I also hold the same view because if you look at the Constitution, it's just, I don't have a copy in front of me, but when the debate started, I had a chance to check. So what it says is that the president shall appoint his cabinet among members of parliament. So who is a member of parliament? I think that is the question here. So there are two ways of becoming a member of parliament. It's either you're elected or you're nominated by the president. Right? We are agreed on that one.
Yes. Yeah.
The president is allowed to nominate 8 MPs at any time. And then we elect 156 through the general election. So I hold the view that you become a member of parliament the moment you are elected, because when you are elected and the returning officer makes a declaration, that declaration, if you listen to it carefully, it says, I hereby declare that this person is the duly elected MP for this place. Yeah. So at that point, you become the member of parliament. Now there comes an issue, or then the other limb of it is the moment the president nominates you as a member of parliament, at that point you become a member of parliament, notwithstanding that you haven't sat in parliament yet. Now there's a catch here where the law says the members of parliament need to take oath on the floor of the house. Okay? But then there's a rider again which says that the first sitting of parliament should take place within 30 days of the election. Now, if we're going to read strictly into that and say that the president cannot appoint anyone into the executive before parliament sits and they take oath, which means that we'll have a period of about 30 days where we don't have a government, but we have a president, which to me is absurd. It creates an absurdity. Because the members of the cabinet are members of the executive, who, according to definition, they have to be taken from the legislature. But it doesn't stop them from being members of the executive. So what the president is simply doing is selecting members of the executive, but he's picking them from the legislative branch. So what they have simply not done is to take up their place in the legislative chamber. But my opinion, which is very personal, is that there is nothing stopping the executive side of the government from working while they are waiting for the legislative chamber to start their business. That's my opinion. Because of that 30-day period that is it.
Yeah, that's exactly the position we've taken. But of course, clever people are out there confusing the masses. They shouldn't do that. I think this is a very simple and straightforward matter. You become a member of parliament once you are declared after the election. Yes. That's why even the affidavit itself from the returning officer, that's what it says. And so sometimes people want to bring in what happens with the swearing in of a president, with swearing in of a an MP, which does not really work like that. So that's very important. And so we have no problem if they tried to go to the Constitutional Court. I'm very clear that they are going to lose. You see. So why should they even go to the Constitutional Court? No, they shouldn't. This is a very simple and straightforward matter. The Honorable Stumbeko Musokotwane is an MP from Liua, and as an MP from Liua, he qualifies to be in cabinet, and so the president did the right thing. In fact, the issue is that the president has delayed to even come up with his cabinet, because cabinet ifwaikwa, they are just swearing you in at 12:03. By 14 hours, and and people, it's just that His Excellency the President Haga in the Hijilema is taking slightly longer, but he should appoint his cabinet, and so we are going to go to scrutinize some of the names that he has floated, that the changes that he has made in the security wings. Wafia press conference yabushko nishina chishupa. When you see
before we move on to that, Mucha, I think the president also, like you said, my opinion is he's taking long. We don't know who his 8 nominated MPs are. And it would be ideal that by the time Parliament makes its first sitting, all those people have been nominated already. And when they are sitting, it's a full house. I hope you get what I mean. Because he has a prerogative to nominate 8 MPs. He hasn't given us the list of those 8. I understand Dr. Musokotwane is an elected MP. So it means the president has, the president at this point has not nominated anyone, of which it's his power to do so. To nominate them right now, he can do it today, and there will be MPs. And I was hoping that by the time the parliament is sitting, we know who those 8 MPs are, so that we move on. We know how our house is constituted.
Right.
That's my view. Before you move on to the next one.
Yes. Now, sometimes people. Yes, General.
Yeah. Well, the president is going to nominate. He's allowed by law, by the Constitution, to nominate 8 MPs. And I think what he's trying to do here is that he's going to announce his cabinet, and as he announces his cabinet, he will also announce the nominated MPs. Some of those nominated MPs might even be in the cabinet. We don't know. But they will have to go to Parliament for a full Parliament, full House of 156. So I think that will be done before the 10th of September, because Parliament is going to be sworn in on the 10th. I think that's the first time they'll be sitting on the 10th. Between now and the 10th, that will be done. He will nominate out of the members of Parliament, and if he wants to appoint anybody and nominate him as MP, he has the right, as Council Marisa said, 8 members of Parliament who he can nominate. So I think let's hear what he says tomorrow.
All
There
right.
is going to be a swearing-in ceremony tomorrow. Not sure whether it's just going to be the staff at State House or it's going to be part of the cabinet. We should be getting the first information tomorrow. But he will have to nominate 8 MPs.
Yes, that's clear. Now, some
General,
people read my
just on that
status,
one. Before you move on, Mr. Musho, I just want to correct General. Parliament is not on the 10th. That's the official opening of Parliament. That's when the president goes to officially open the House, like he goes and gives the ceremonial speech. But the members of Parliament will start sitting before that. So when the president makes his ceremonial appearance at Parliament, the House will have already opened. So as it is, the members of Parliament, I think on this Wednesday, I think that they're starting to sit on the 1st of September. That is the first sitting. I need to check my date. But I know they are having their first sitting this week, I think on Wednesday, when they're going to elect the new speaker. So by the time the president goes there to make his speech, the speaker will already be in office and everyone would have been sworn in. So the swearing in of members of parliament is actually starting this coming week. I think Wednesday, I need to check the date. So the ceremonial opening is the one which is happening on the 10th. That is when the president goes there to give his speech. But parliament will already have been constituted before that. So I reiterate my point that there is nothing stopping the president from nominating his 8 people now. Even now, if he can wake up and address a press conference, please let him do it. So that on Wednesday, when they are going to vote for the new speaker, even those 8 people are there.
Yeah. Okay, so some people misunderstand my post. I don't know whether my posts are too complicated. This gentleman, Henry Kabinga, is saying that I totally agree with Council Malisa. That is why I was surprised with your post today, Munsha. I am glad that you have changed your mind. I don't know what this gentleman is talking about. Henry Kabinga, do you read my post? What was my position in my post? You haven't, eh? Please read people's posts and get to know the history of what they are talking about before you think that I've posted something that is different. You know, my posts have been very clear that Honorable Stumbeko Musokotwane is an MP, and the president is okay to nominate him as a cabinet minister. So I don't know where you are getting this idea that I say I posted something different. Okay. Alabane, mule berenga wino, eh? TV Bakwetu is here, our thing is here, so you read properly. What are the positions that Elias Musha has taken before you come and begin saying things that are not correct? We have never doubted the nomination of Dr. Stumbeko Musokotwane at all, right? In fact, I'm rebutting the things that the Green Party leader was saying. What is his name? Peter Sinkamba. I was telling Peter Sinkamba to say, you are complicating yourself for no reason. Actually, what you've written is a Kelenka interpretation. That's what I said, and some people corrected me to say, do not be so harsh on people that get things wrong. Why should you call them Kelenka interpretation? So, Munjerereko, I shouldn't have said Kelenka interpretation. I should have said this is a wrong interpretation. But sometimes people get too tiring because we are in this mode where we keep fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. No kulembasa nefintu if ishpanga sense. Because a person cites articles of the Constitution does not make it right, you know. It's simple. Is this person an MP? If they are an MP, then they can be in cabinet. That's it. You don't have to go into all this swearing in and shan. It's not useful. Okay, so Henry Kabinga, no, what you've written here is not true. It is not reflective of my position as far as Dr. Musokotwane is concerned. Okay.
It looks like people are still, unfortunately, it looks like our people are still in the campaign mode where they just want to attack anybody and say things. Ladies and gentlemen, campaign is over. This is the time now when he is forming government. And I think President HH has got the right to nominate an MP, and Honorable Musokotwane, Stumbeko Musokotwane is an MP and is a qualified person. So please move on. He is your Minister of Finance, and he has been nominated and sworn in correctly. So let's not bring in campaign mode again. We're no longer in campaign mode. And for Green Party president, you lost, sir. You didn't get any seat, so shut up.
General, did you have to say, General, please, did you have to go there and tell him to shut up because he did not get any MPs?
I'm in that mood. I'm that mood today because, you know, there are people who are just making comments for no reason, just for the sake of them being recognized. If Mr. Sinkamba had an MP in Parliament, I was going to respect him. But he has no MP, he has no councillor, so shut up.
This is serious. General, please. I don't know. Advocate Malisa usually doesn't tolerate that language of telling people to shut up. So you should shut up, Peter Sinkamba.
No, not Peter Sinkamba. Peter Sinkamba, he has no MP, he has no councillor. I don't think the Green Party is councillor. So really, he has no authority whatsoever to start criticizing somebody who won an election and to try and give constitutional advice. He's not a lawyer. So the best thing he can do is to shut up. Give this man a chance to form his government.
General, that language is unparliamentary.
No, this is not parliament. This is not parliament. This is too democratic. I think it's time to tell people to really, we have got a big task ahead of us to rebuild the country. We are not going to be quarreling over nominations. See, a simple process. You know, we have got serious things ahead of us. Rebuilding the country, finding the money which was stolen, getting things sorted out. Not nomination of a member of parliament as minister. So people like Sinkala really don't waste time. Let's focus on the most important thing.
Sinkamba. Now, General and Advocate Malisa, we always get these comments. So somebody is saying that Advocate Malisa sounds Zimbabwean. This is Mupelwa Kasitu. So you need Advocate Malisa, since you are coming on
I need to clarify this.
Please, no, sorry. I just need to prepare you that here on TV Bakwetu, people come with all sorts of questions. So you must be able to address them. So what is this? What does she mean? She's saying that Advocate Malisa sounds Zimbabwean. Is it your name? Is it your accent? What does she mean?
Well, maybe my name or my accent. I wouldn't know. I don't really listen to myself. But my simple answer to that one is I'm one of those Zambians of dubious origin, like our new ZAF commander. I guess that answers the question. I need to say more.
Advocate Malisa, please, you need to know something. We need to be very clear here. No Zambian has dubious origins. Here on TV Bakwetu, we don't believe in that. And so if anyone has told you you have a dubious background, I want you to know that they were wrong, and we are going to arrest them. And we are going to tell them to shut up.
No, I get that every time, so I'm kind of used to this, so it's not even a big issue for me. Maybe to answer her question, yes, my grandparents, my great-grandparents actually came from Southern Rhodesia. There was no Zimbabwe at that time. And then I did part of my school in Zimbabwe. Maybe that's where the accent comes from. But that's just about it. Yeah.
All right. That's fair. And I want you to know that you are Zambian as everyone else. And so if you've been using that dubious thing, we are going to fight it, and we are going to erase it from the memory, and we are going to remove it completely. There is no dubiousness about it. You are Zambian as everyone else, including the new ZAF commander, including Kenneth Kaunda, including Frederick Chiluka, including I shouldn't go there.
No.
You are even being very, very nice by saying Jonathan Mutawala.
No, I actually find it quite humorous. At first, I used to get offended, but I don't get offended anymore. It's just fun.
Yeah, But I think Mupelwa Kasitu was able to pick it, but you can pick it, particularly if you've associated very much with Zimbabwean culture. You can pick the accent that this does sound that, and it's part of us. So we are very happy and glad.
Okay. All right.
Bantu nabambi ife balanda ekibemba kutuwaishi bati kikibembe eki muli kimo.
Chakukongo.
Acha general ati chakwi.
Ichibemba ichakukongo mkwai.
Kuti wapikinga omfwa fyefyo amashuye mo yare koneka wewere apa pariko something. And so we are used to that. And even chipatans, na bena chipata we can tell. Wamfwa fifi bare ande chichewa, waishi bata, baba apiri aba, parichimo. But we are one country and we love it all. We love Zimbabwean accents, we love Katangi's accents, we love Achimwene's accents from Malawi. We are one country, beautiful country. And we cannot exchange this country with anything else. General, but we had to clarify that. So Mupelwa, thank you for catching that in Advocate Malisa's voice. Mwaireterera. Malisa, mwaireterera. Pamulabasa.
Imwe.
Nangu mwalefu okufisama. Here you can't hide. Bazami gwira. Bazami gwira. Bami gwira paso. Anyway. General, we have new changes in the security services. First of all, what I find quite amazing is that the changes were done at 19 hours.
Musha, I think there are certain things which needed to be done yesterday. And I think for me, the decision to relieve some of these people has come at the right time. You should have done it yesterday, or you should have done it on Wednesday after being sworn in, because we can't play with the security of our country. And some of these people, they played an obvious role during the last 5 years, 7 years. And I will not comment about the individuals, because I don't want to do that. It's not fair for me to do that. But there are certain people who should have been relieved on Wednesday after the president was sworn in. One of them, I think I'll go to the Inspector General. He should have gone on Wednesday. So, so the rest of the appointments, the president has got the right to do that. But it's important to get the security forces right first time. Musha, over to you.
Okay. And so what we have at the moment is, first of all, let's begin with the police. And General, I hope you have the list of the changes that have been done. Otherwise, I can also have access to it. So under the police, the president has brought back Mr. Lemi Kajoba. Now, some people say Remi, but no, he's not Remi, he's Lemi Kajoba. So Mr. Lemi Kajoba is back. He was relieved of his duties about 5 years ago. Is it 6 years ago? However, he has bounced back to be Inspector General of Police. The president has also relieved all commissioners of police in all the provinces. And I think I got what he was hinting at. What he was saying was, in the previous system of where the president appoints the Inspector General, Deputy Inspector Generals, and Inspectors General, and then he also appoints commissioners for the provinces, that was creating a problem for the Inspector General in the sense that the commissioners were owing allegiance to the president. So they could completely ignore the Inspector General and completely just ignore them. And if the Inspector General wants to bring any message down his chain of command, the commissioners would just say no, and instead listen directly from the president or listen directly from political party cadres. So what I'm getting a hint from the speech of President Hakainde Hichilema was, we are going to have a structure where I appoint the Inspector General, I appoint the Deputy Inspectors General, and then the Inspector General then appoints the commissioners, promotes and appoints commissioners, so that these commissioners are responsible to the Inspector General And then I, as president, on the other hand, I hold the inspector general accountable so that there is a clear chain of command. That is what I heard.
Yeah, that is true, Musha, because what was happening is that the commissioners were appointed by the president and they took oath before the president, and they thought they were acting as if they were answerable directly to the president and ignoring the inspector general. And I think that's the whole command structure became cumbersome. And not only that, it allowed the party cadres to control the commissioners, because the commissioners were also trying to impress the president directly. And yeah. I think this is where we were seeing all the commissioners in the provinces misbehaving. And I think he is trying to correct this anomaly, whereby each commissioner should pay allegiance to the inspector general instead of going straight to the president. So I think that's a good move, and I really welcome it. Let him appoint the inspector general, the president appoint the inspector general and the deputies, and then they can promote the commissioners. I'm not sure whether it requires the law to be changed, but it makes sense to me.
Yes, I don't think it would require any law changes. Advocate Malisa, does this bring up any issues for you? Do you remember any piece of legislation at the moment, or we are going to let you go and research as usual? Because every lawyer is like, let me get back to you. Are you going to tell us that you'll get back to us, or something jumps out on that point?
Yeah, let me go and check that. Whether there's a need to amend the Police Act or what. But I don't think it is. But to be safe, let me go and check. I'll get back to you tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Advocate. Because for me, Musha, in management, you cannot have one person being managed by two people. And This is what was happening with the commissioners. They were reporting to the commissioner, but these commissioners were also reporting directly to the president. And I think it didn't make any sense at all.
Right. Okay, so Inspector General Kanganja has been fired. The replacement is Lemi Kajoba. I think most Zambians have lack respect. They don't have a lot of respect for Mr. Kanganja. Did Kanganja have any option in the way he behaved? Can he lump it all on President Lungu to say that it was
Kanganja had no option.
Yes, General.
Yeah, Musha, you are cutting off. I'm not sure whether it's me or you are cutting off. The line is really, really bad. But are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, Musha, and our viewers, are you able to hear me?
Yes,
we can.
Hello to our viewers. Advocate Malisa, are you able to hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, General.
Okay, I think there's something wrong with your connection. We'll let you reconnect. Yeah, but Advocate Malisa, do you think that there was going to be any option for Kanganja? Did he behave the way he behaved because of Edgar Lungu? And is there any option for him? Could he have defied Edgar Lungu? What is the other thing that he could have done?
Okay, my take on this is that I really don't want to say that the former president, Mr. Edgar Changwa Lungu, is to blame for the what I can term unprofessional behavior of the police. I think you and I would know that as a professional, you are appointed on the basis of you being a professional, not being a praise singer. So there is nothing wrong with a professional when he feels that his professional ethos are under attack, to simply hand in his resignation. If you and I lawyers know that if you give your client advice and your client decides not to take your advice, you simply advise them to seek alternative counsel, right?
Right.
Because they are not taking your advice. So in this case, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kanganja, if he was given orders that as a professional policeman, he feels that were against the spirit of him being a policeman, he could have easily told his boss or the appointing authority to say, boss, what you're asking me to do, I think it goes against my ethics and my standing as a professional. Kindly accept my resignation. Now, because he did not do that, it means that he was a willing participant in whatever was happening, and he has to be held accountable for that. It's as simple as straightforward. Yes, that's my take on this one.
Okay. And so obviously citizens have rejoiced. In fact, the rumor of Kanganja's firing started circulating yesterday, and even legitimate news sources, they spread the news. And even our TV Bakwet also went into the fray, but it was denied. The other one that has been fired from the police is Charity Katanga. General Katanga is your lawyer.
Good riddance. I'm sorry that Charity Katanga, she's a lawyer.
Yeah.
She's a lawyer, Munsha, but not a good police officer. She could be a good lawyer, but she's not a good officer. For me, it's good riddance.
Yeah, I do think that she's a.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I think General's line is quite bad.
Line cut. Advocate Mulisa, can you try and mute yourself and see what happens, please?
Hello?
Wow. Go ahead, Musha.
Yeah. So Charity Katanga has been fired. And so I think for me, if there is any firing that makes if there is any firing that makes more sense, it's the firing of Charity Katanga. I think that one makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the line is bad today, Musha. I'm not sure what the problem is.
Yeah. I think it's General's line that has a problem, because for me, I think it's so good. And so what I was saying was that if there is any firing that really makes sense, it's the Charity Katanga, because Charity Katanga is a lawyer, but she did not use, and Advocate Malisa, I don't want you to comment on your colleague, because you lawyers in Zambia have this thing of equal competency of lawyers and your fellow member of the bar and blah, blah, blah. Now, me, I don't. So for me, I can say, whatever. You call it courtesy, gosh. But she was actually okay. If you owe her courtesy, the only issue is that she did not give the same courtesy. She did not give the same courtesy to the people of Zambia. There was no courtesy to the people of Zambia. Because what she was telling the people of Zambia was the police have the right to go ahead and do all sorts of things. That they could go and beat up people, they could detain people without trial, they could keep people in prison for as long as they wanted to do so. And that was not right. That was not just what the law says. And so that was very concerning. I hope that all the lawyers that serve in the Zambia police are going to find it. In fact, it's an ethical issue. I'll be the first one to be reporting these lawyers to the Law Association of Zambia now, because you can't be a lawyer serving the Zambia Police Service and then you are lying and giving a false representation of what the law actually says about arrests of people.
I say that I owe her courtesy at the bar as a member of the bar, but I don't owe her any courtesy as the Inspector General of Police, the Police Deputy Inspector General. Sorry about that. She was the Deputy Inspector General. So when she was discharging her functions as the Deputy Inspector General, I don't think the courtesy at the bar applies, because we are dealing with her as a functionary in the public service, or in the police for that matter. And as you said, she owed every person in this country that duty. So when it's coming to me criticizing her, I would criticize her as a deputy IG and not as a lawyer, because we're not considering her lawyering skills here, but we're considering what she was doing in the substantive position as a deputy IG. And I think she performed terribly. That's my analysis, and that's my personal opinion, which I'm entitled to. I think she failed lamentably, and no one will miss her. We wish her well in future endeavors. We won't miss her in that office. And I'm very glad that another member of the legal profession has taken up the DIG operations position.
Who is that?
So, what's her name? Let me just check her name. Just a minute, just a minute.
That's wonderful. So to the new Deputy Inspector General, we need to be very clear. If you are a lawyer, you cannot misrepresent the law. You can't.
Agreed. That goes against our oath as an advocate.
Straightforward. Because if you tell the people of Zambia for as long as they want, that is not what the law says. They can detain a person indefinitely as long as they've detained them to help them with investigations. That's not what the law says. And so we need to be very clear. If you are charity katanga, pantu bale bepo obufi. Okweba tefu efunde lyaba Muzambia. Tefyo lyaba iyo. Muzambia bakapokola pakukuikata nishinaba chita at least investigate. Naba kwata reasonable suspicion. Elonga bakulonga mama cells within 24 hours or 48 hours bafuire bakuchita charge. Yeah? Nomba te kukusunga fye for a week or 2 weeks bali kusunga fye mama cells. They've not charged you. They've not done anything like that. The police do not have those rights. Ngarakutira mwacharging omuntu na murder nishina muchitakare mwamuchita charge na murder, and those are non-bailable and non-bondable offenses. That's understandable. Nomba notu ati umuntu ati pantu watu kalungu ati yo pantu watu kalungu watu kakateka, they're going to lock you up for a week or 2 weeks. That is not the law. That is not the law. And any lawyer serving in the Zambia Police Service who comes up with that is subject to discipline. Oh, we can't be tolerating this. Okowatama lawyers, wakapokolama lawyers, but I'm going misrepresent what the law says. Anyway, I hope there will be several changes in this regard.
I've got the name for you, Mucha. She's called Counsel Doris Chiwombe. That's our DIG admin.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She's also a lawyer. She's an advocate, and she was once in charge of the legal department at the Zambia Police Service. And then she left and she went into private practice. So I'm quite intrigued that the president actually went and picked someone who was in private practice to come and become the deputy IG. Exciting times.
Yeah. I hope then she's going to bring from private practice a perspective that is very necessary to policing. We are not enemies of the police. All we are asking for is that the police are fair. That's all, and they follow the law. Te kwamba fyokula ipangire fintu wabene pantu na bakwate mfuti bakapokola. Ati pantu na tukwate mfuti kanshi kuchita fecho tulefuaya. No. All we are asking is that nga mwaikato omuntu bakapokola, mwaikato omuntu mwamwingisha muchifungo. Follow the law, lay down procedure. How long can they be detained without trial? How long are they supposed to be charged? No to wikato omuntu mwamuposa mumafi for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Firia fiakale, firia fiamuli lungu. Muri hichile matatule fifuaya iyo, tatule fifuaya iyo. Nga mwalongo omuntu, charge them. Gamabachita charge, take them before an impartial tribunal as soon as possible. Epela. If you are anyway, those are the changes with the police command. Those are the changes with the operational thing dealing with commissioners of police. And the Zambia Air Force, the president has fired the army, the Zambia Air Force commander, and I think his deputy, and he has appointed Colonel Barry. I think he's of mixed race, right? He's of Kaonde and he's of mixed race and Scottish parent. And that demonstrates the diversity of our country. If we can't have a Sungu, then Zambia.
Musha, if you can have a vice president, Umusungu, what's wrong with having a Zambia Air Force commander, Umusungu? This man is a Kaonde and Scotsman, so I think he's entitled, as a qualified person, he's entitled. I've seen a lot of very negative comments. I think it's high time Zambians really realize that we have a mixed bag when we say one Zambia, one nation. Just because this man was born from a Scottish father doesn't mean he's not a Zambian. He's a Zambian. So I'm very glad that Barry is the new commander. Musha. Over to you.
Oh yeah, I need to make a correction about the deputy IG. I got her name wrong. She's called Doris Nayame. Doris Nayame. So my apologies to the senior counsel, the deputy IG, for getting her name wrong. A lot of our viewers have corrected me. She's Doris Nayame. So I just thought I should make that correction.
Thank you very much. I need to just connect something, and so I'll be back there. If you can mute your mics, that would be good. But I'll just be making a connection here. All right. So now, any negative comments about the identity of our new army commander? If you will hear or see any negative comment on TV Bakwetu, we are not going to tolerate it. We are not going to even have any. We have zero patience for people, for tribalists and racists on TV Bakwetu, on my page here. We have zero tolerance. Valinda Banks, what do you think about those that are abusing our new ZAF commander? You need to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's very rich for us Zambians and Africans in general to be racist and derogatory towards other races living in our countries. I'm particularly in Britain. You are in Canada. General is in Scotland. I'm married to a British guy. My child is half British. And I think Chibi-san Okukuba, the way we are, despite the fact that I'm Zambian, but Kuno and I'm British as well. And if I get a position in Britain on merits because I'm qualified, so people accept me as a qualified person in that particular field. So I think it's really sad that we have to behave like that, even though unaccepted, especially Black people, we always have this thing about, race and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's really unacceptable that we should be racist. Let's just call it as it is, racist towards this particular person who is as Zambian as anybody else. That's my view on that.
Here's the concern I have. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't even be talking about anything like he's a stranger or he's somehow different from us. Mm-hmm. Zambia is itself a country that is a diverse nation. Zambia is a diverse nation. And so that does not even arise. We are a diverse nation. This is why, in fact, one of the things that I talk about and one of the things that we address here on TV Bakwetu is tribalism. Now, we do not generalize things. When we are talking of one Zambia, one nation, we do not speak at it from a general, just a perspective. No, we actually go to particulars. We mention names. We go to Tongas and say that a Tonga is a Zambian. You know, that's the difference. We don't dismiss anyone. A Tonga is a Zambian. A Luvale is a Zambian. A Luchazi is a Zambian. Naba Ushibene Vena Zambia, Vatubulu. We are Zambia. Every one of these, when you actually mention them, it clicks in you that is how we become one country. Now, when we are addressing the issue of General Barry, it's very clear. He is a Zambian. He's a Zambian of mixed race, and that's it. Perhaps in the olden days, when they were making Zambia, Abena Kaunda made a very big mistake. I always talk about it. Abena Kaunda made a very big mistake because the way they defined being a Zambian was very unfair. Because in their definition, they were looking for a pure Zambian. And in their definition, they say that if you are a Zambian, you've got to be pure. So they went searching for pure Zambians. And the unfortunate thing was that there were several citizens in our country that could not qualify to be pure Zambian. And Kaunda himself was one of those. So on one hand, they are making a law for pure Zambians. On the other hand, they themselves could not even qualify to be pure under that law. And so what we needed was a more fluidity as far as identity is concerned, to recognize that there are some people in our country, they are Zambian, full Zambian, but they may not fit that notion of purity that we had. That's it. And so to all the fools, and now I don't like using this word because when Okwito is a fool, it's very unfair, you know. But Bible a fool says in his heart there is no God. It's very foolish of any person to discriminate against our new ZAF commander. And if I know anyone personally who is going to post anything derogatory against our new ZAF commander, I'm going to block them. I'm going to I'm not going to be very kind to those people.
Yeah, Muncha, sorry to interrupt you. Still on that, I think I can provide guidance on these. Article 35(1) of the Constitution says, I'll read it verbatim. A person born in Zambia is a citizen by birth if at the date of that person's birth, at least one parent of that person is or was a citizen. So what that means is that anyone born in Zambia, whether from a Chinese father and a Zambian mother, or from a Zambian mother and a German father, as long as they're born in Zambia, and at the time they are born, one of their parents is a citizen of Zambia, then automatically they become a Zambian without question. Whether they look light, they look dark, they look green, they look blue, it doesn't matter. And then there's another aspect that, again, the other qualification of a Zambian is citizenship by descent. A person born outside of Zambia is a citizen by descent if at the date of that person's birth, at least one parent of that person is or was a citizen by birth or descent. So for example, you, Mr. Musha, you've been staying in Canada for some time. If your children are born in Canada, they become Canadians by birth, but they become Zambians by descent because you are a Zambian, even if they are born outside the country. So based on that, I think that the notion of questioning the general's Zambianness, it's really misplaced. for lack of a better term, and it's not something that we should be talking about, especially when the law is clear. I think I thought I should put that into perspective.
Thank you. That's why we have you, Advocate Malisa, because you are so calm and you just go to the facts and the law. We are very indebted, and I think most of our listeners, they like you and they like the perspective that you bring, because we have lawyers on this forum, but other lawyers, they don't do as good as you do, you know.
Musha, before we move on, General Barry is a pilot. He is also an instructor, very, very qualified instructor, pilot. And he's a flying instructor in the Air Force. So I think he's a very well qualified man. And I think we should respect that. And for me, he's Kaonde, he's Zambian, from a Scottish father. He is entitled and he is qualified. I think that I rest my case, Musha.
I think they want to hear him speak Kaonde. Imwe bonse mwe that Barry is not Zambian. Mwalap sana na Kaonde.
Council, could I just add on that?
Anso mwalap sana na Kaonde tachawame. Anso onse fyo mundu wapsana na Kaonde. It's very, very tough.
Could I just add to what General just said, please?
Yeah.
There was me claiming him as a Lamba. What's the evidence that General has that he's a Kaonde? I was thinking someone actually mentioned to me that he's probably Lamba, but also.
Lamba na Kaonde mulibamo bene.
And also
Lamba Kaonde.
Okay.
Mulibamo bene. Lamba na Kaonde.
And to add to what Advocate Malisa had said, it's really important for us as a people to recognize diversity. Something that General Barry could bring to the plate is completely different from what another person could bring. So we need to be a little bit more like Zimbabwe in the positive sense of it. Obviously, Zimbabwe has done a lot of wrong things, but where it comes to acceptance and embracing diversity, there are some Zimbabweans who speak Shona like crazy, better than indigenous Black Zimbabweans. But they accept them as part of society, part of the community. But Zambians, we, like you mentioned, Council Munsha, about the Kaunda times where being Zambian is looked upon as being Black and Bemba or Lozi or whatever. But Abasungu, even though they were born there, or half of them, half of their parents or one of their parents was Black Zambian. Like for me, my child, I would be really upset if my child was not accepted in Britain because I'm Black and the father is white, English British. You know what I mean? Even though they have equal access and equal claim to being British. So it's the same thing that we're doing, because we don't acknowledge this person as being Black Zambian, so we don't think that they have the right to hold such a position. I think it's folly for us as a people to take that route.
Linda, Ezekiel Shibemba bafulwa pantu nachiranda ati abalamba n'abakaonde bantu bamubene bafulwa munjerereko. I was not serious. Bakaonde n'abalamba fyapsana.
But we are one Zambia, one nation, though.
No, don't even go there. We don't go to one Zambia, one nation. If we panel, we don't go to one Zambia, one nation first. Okay. First of all, we recognize the importance, diversity of people. Absolutely. First of all, before we go to one Zambia, one nation, bali wonfyo ukutitikisha abantu. Kanshu mutonga tetalande nechitonga that we are one Zambia, one nation, but you can't. Tetuche celebrate at twakwata kateko mutonga. You can't say that at it's one Zambia, one nation. But
really
you can say it at we now have a Chipata president and celebrate. No, but celebrate that we have a Tonga president at you are tribal.
Nish Mulandu.
number one Zambia one kanshi one Zambia one nation kano fire one mina fie
Ababe bana bakushikana ifo fweba copper belt. I was upset that I couldn't get on your show when you were talking, when someone chastised you about saying my Tonga nieces and nephews. I was really passionate about that. I mean, I'm not Tonga. One of my grandparents was Lenje, and one of her parents, I think Vawish, Tonga. My grandmother's mom was Lenje and the father was Tonga. So Mwamuna intermarriages and all that sort of stuff. So you saying that my nephews from the Tonga side should embrace this, and people got upset. I'm thinking, why are you upset? I mean, we should celebrate being a different tribe, then celebrate being Zambian. It's absolutely all right. There's nothing wrong with saying, oh, we now have a Tonga president. You as a child growing up from Shimabala or Mazabuka, you should have something to aspire to. What is wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong. I'm glad you agree.
Yeah, I've been quiet and listening.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. You know, I have a bone to chew with the Vamusha and the general. They have been in the country. They haven't. I've been trying to reach them. I can't reach them. And anyway, welcome to Zambia. But I would have loved to meet you physically as well while you're still in Lusaka.
Where are you? Where are you, Mr. Kwilimba?
I'm in Lusaka West, using Mungwi Road.
Kutadi.
So yeah, just around the Rock Gardens.
Kumayadi.
No, Kuma Farm.
Kumayadi Kuzambia. Kumayadi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not far from town, Vamusha.
Anyway, I think General.
Yeah, Musha. Oh, I think let's invite Wankwilimba for lunch. I will contact you, Wankwilimba. We're inviting you for lunch tomorrow before Musha does his thing. So, Musha, we have a number of people online here who are still pending comments, but we have not finished the army. We have not finished the national service. And one name which is still missing is the prison serviceman. Personally, I would have wished him to be fired first. I don't know what others think.
Oh, definitely, yes. That gentleman was the most outrightly political. I think if President Hichilema is listening to us, or any of his advisors are listening to us, please, tomorrow, mwachilaba question adimo Dr. Chireshe Mulenga. Please go to his office. No kuyabafunyapo ba Chireshe Mulenga, no kubatamfie nchito. You don't even need to say things like he's been redeployed. That gentleman does not need redeployment. He needs firing, complete firing on the spot, because he was
I totally agree with you. Dr. Chireshe must be fired and sent to his farm. That's what I think should be done. And if I have my way of saying it tomorrow, I will be reminding the president and his staff to say he forgot to fire Chireshe, Dr. Chireshe, and don't redeploy him. Send him to his farm. If he hasn't got a farm, send him to the street to go and look for another job, because he was a complete disgrace.
General Mlapepa, weshani momtima.
Indeed, General Mzana inabana.
But what with people like Kanganja, I honestly think in the interest of national security, he should be fired. Kanganja and the lady, the sausage lady, whatever madness she was singing. Do you remember that song? If it's sausage, it's either food or whatever crap that was. Sorry. people like her and Kanganja, the craziness that they brought to society, I think they're too embedded in the PF. It's not a good idea that they're deployed to some other places. My view is
Vamunsha chungulopo mkwai bwino bwino tatotera mkwai tule umfwa file chitika ku Zambia and ina tutotera bakainde tule totera sana bakainde ofo bale chitanomba efo tule fwaya fwe te kuchitafe relieve abantu out of their positions, but they have to be also made account for the wrong things that they did. Takuli ukubalekera pe mama chita retire in public interest, then bawela kufama bayaikala, or you redeploy them into other foreign services. Pantu kunonga mabaleta kuma diaspora kuno, we'll visit them, ask kuma embassies, tukaba chita. We don't need them ourselves. We don't need recycled, or rather people that abuse their powers whilst who were failing to speak out when things were wrong. And then you want, and Mr. Hakainde wants to eject them and throw them in the foreign service. And I foreign service, foreign countries to tatureba fire. Let them remain where they are and just return whatever they store, whatever they acquired during those their incompetence to the answer for their wrong things that they did, because badi chilamo. And this is where Zambian should be, and those that are going to be appointed or that have taken over, this is where they should now think twice of how to act professional to require issues where to work them falling back into the same ditches that we've had, because the pain is just too unbearable. We don't want to go back there.
We need to be a little cautious here, because we really do not have evidence of that the service chiefs were compromised, right? And I want us to
compromised. The evidence is there. Not to quata. Videos everywhere we have.
No, I know about the police, but I am not aware about the Zambia Air Force man, the Zambia Army man, or the Zambia National Service man, right? And so, I would just love to take the president's stance here, do not conclude that these were not good public servants. They played a huge, important role. Maybe they played a role in the background, and so we just need to balance it up so that we do not lump them together with all the other thieves. I know that the Patriotic Front was a party of thieves, but I wouldn't say the same that the service chiefs were also thieves. I just need a little bit more to conclude that.
Since you are still in Zambia, you can even investigate it yourself. Go to Chieftainess in Commercia. The army got land there and started demarcating to plots for the high people. Find out. The Solis, who are my traditional cousins, if we've got Solis here, they put something in the comments for Mr. Musha to digest. I guess even the general should know that about the land which the army has taken in Chongo.
Yeah.
Anyway, for now, that was the thing. I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
That's where the investigative wings should come in properly, investigate these matters, these officials that allowed.
Musha, we have a problem with Percy. Are you able to hear me?
No, Percy is okay, General.
Percy
I think
okay.
It's your network. General, it's your network. Because when we started this program, General, you were boasting of what you were at another level.
Yeah, my levels, but General, it's very muma level.
Mwamona, eh?
And he was right. He's in levels now. He's at the bottom level.
On tribalism, Ramusha. O ababa fokulande
Oh yeah.
abale fokuleta ama issues ya kuri Bali, is it the deputy air commander?
No, the commander. The air commander now.
The commander
Barry,
himself.
who wants to bring Barry?
No, abale stanegeti wa commander, the new air commander. Abo bena abo twila bomfwira no kubomfwira. Let's not listen. Let's not pay attention to such people, because they want to come and play this racial victim card. Tatuleka fire Mozambia, twalikana tribalism, twalikana racism, totatule fire uyoka mbwiri alifilwa na tribalism yakwe bachitire campaign on trying to bring down HH twali wakanina. So we cannot even entertain someone trying to bring in issues to do with race. Pantu ife bambi kuno twaikala twalishiba what racism is all about.
Yeah.
So tatule fwaya okuyumfwa tiere chitika mu Zambia pantu tukesaba bakesanya tukesaba nyesha.
Hi, Lucia. Can I come in for a minute to speak here?
Okay. So what I think General is still experiencing difficulties. We are now at 1 hour 21 minutes. We have 9 minutes to make it 1 hour 30 minutes. And so I'm going to go through everyone so that you have less than a minute to say something about our topics today, the changes in the service. And I think Advocate Malisa did tackle very well the issue of the appointment of Honorable Musokotwane. And so that has already been done. But we are going to start with Percy. Percy, less than a minute. You are muted, Percy.
Sorry about that. I agree with the majority of people about the Inspector General of Police. For me, I wouldn't like him to be posted anywhere. For me, it's damaged goods. That's one. And the army needs to be investigated in terms of the powers it was reaching of even grabbing land which belongs to the people, the Soli people. It's not, because each chief has got his own land. You have to go to the chief to get permission to use his land. But the land was taken by force by the army. So that needs to be looked into.
Thank you. Thank you, Percy.
Thank you.
Linda Banks.
Just to retaliate what we talked about Barry, I think we need to embrace diversity and give him a chance, see how he works. If he doesn't work well with our people, well, he's Zambian, so we can't really say with our people. He's part of our people. So give him a chance, see how things go. Then I was thinking of Bakatanga. How the hell did she manage to have such a high position, same as Abalumevavo? And I understand that the husband is Kuaya as well, which is a great thing. I personally don't feel it's in the national interest.
Who is her husband? Is her husband in the service as well?
Yeah, nakapoto akakulusana na vena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I feel in the national interest, they're too embedded in the whole PF and BUDS vibe that was going on. They shouldn't be deployed. I think HH should find a way of getting rid of them, obviously legally. I'm sure he's got the right people to do that. And the finance minister, people have been complaining. I know the whole story has been exhausted, but just to add my voice to this, I think it's absolutely imperative that we have a safe pair of hands to handle this and not have experiments. Young people can have a look in when it comes to other positions as long as they're competent. And I also wanted to say deepest condolences to Professor Kasonso, who lost a sister, and I enjoy listening to him on the program, and he's grieving at the moment. I just thought I should just say we're thinking of him in this difficult
condolences to him. I've not heard of the funeral, so I'll catch up. So yeah, sorry to Professor Kasonso. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Linda. Now, sometimes, so when we have this broadcast and I don't mention stars, people don't send stars. When I mention stars, people send stars. I don't know why it happens like that. Of course, we do have regular star senders. They just send still, but it's amazing. I don't know why. So me, I'm a Pentecostal preacher. I don't want to do on TV back way to or what we do in church. Anyway, yeah, sana. I know. Of course, I'm a regulars. I'm a regulars. Okay, now 2,550 right now are the people that are listening and following this broadcast. YouTube and on all our Facebook profiles, you can do that. So please do, and thank you to all the regular senders. We really appreciate. Beauty, less than a minute, please.
Yeah, I'll try my best. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to say I personally know Collins Barry, an absolute wonderful gentleman. He was born and grew up in Sulawesi, so I know him very well. And believe it or not, he's going to do a brilliant job. His mother is Kaonde and his father is British, but they've lived in Zambia for a long time. Actually, his father passed away a few years ago. Fantastic guy. When it comes to all these people that have been whether fired or moved on today, I'm just so glad that the president has done his homework and managed to get rid of those people. They were bad nuts. They really needed to go. There's one woman that I'm waiting for the president to fire, or whoever's going to be firing her. I think I won't mention the name because I don't want to get Bamusha into trouble. But yeah, I'll be more than happy to see her get fired. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Wakajova. Kiatama kumvamba mwasansi la sisa wenu bafwa. But they say me peshe tukamba nenu juba chikwabo. Barry, congratulations. Wakajova ne. I think there's another Kaonde person. Twasanta vingi sana.
Oh, so Beauty, what you're saying is actually that Barry is Kaonde and so is Lemi Kajoba.
Yes, Wakajoba Wakaonde, Barry Nai Wakaonde, Shibombe, somebody, the deputy IG is also Kaonde. What's her name? I've forgotten the name. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten. But the deputy IG, the IG is Kaonde, the deputy is Kaonde, Barry is Kaonde, Northwestern Power. And I tell you why I'm doing this.
Now, for we know, one Zambia, one nation. This is one Zambia, one nation. I'm very happy. You know, this is one Zambia, one nation.
Just give me one more minute, please, Bamusha. And here's why I'm happy, because earlier on, I received a list of all the people that were, the commanders and all them, people, apart from Mr. Kanganja, who was Lunda. All the other people that were in power in those areas were all from Eastern Province and Northern Province. And believe it or not, I'm not racist. I'm not tribalistic. I'm none of that. It didn't even make any. It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't live in Zambia anymore, anyway. But the fact that you can see a mixture of people now being picked from all over the world, all over the country, I'm telling you, I'm so proud of our president, and I'm glad that I was able to catch that press conference just when it was happening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wonderful. This is the Zambia I want to see, where every tribe is happy. Lundas are happy, Ruvales are happy, Tongas are happy, Ushis are happy. Avena Chipata Navo, they are happy. That is the Zambia we want. Every Zambian should be happy.
Is it too happy though, Council Munch? Are they
Ati?
but are they ever happy? They are ambuyas.
Awena chipata, na happiness. Our Mwandin will be a happy nation. This is what it means to be one Zambia, one nation. Mr. Nkwilimba, we already passed the 1:30 mark, so we need
okay,
to...
just a minute. Yeah, I'm actually quite happy with the new dawn. The appointment of Dr. Musokotwane, I think is the right one. He's not new to the ministry, and in the past he has done a very, very good work. And I'm sure that our resources, the ability to mobilize resources and to ensure that those resources are properly used, I'm sure he is equal to the task. So I'm also amused with what has been happening in the police. You're talking about Katanga, who is a lawyer, and it's just amazing the statements that she used to utter. I don't know if you remember when she said that HH risks to be imprisoned because he did not seek permission to attend a church service. Now a lawyer to utter such a statement, and that's just one of the strange statements that Katanga used to utter as in her position. I'm glad that that has come to an end, and a new team is coming in, and I believe that a new team with the support, with clear direction from the president, they are going to do the right thing. We have no people that will be arrested without having carried investigations. And what he said this evening is key, and what he said in the church service in the morning as well at State House. So I look forward to a better Zambia, really. We are beginning to see things being done in the correct way. So we thank God for that.
Thank you, Mr. Nkwilimba. Mr. Kafwimbi.
Hello, everyone. No, I just wanted to say, I think we are very pleased that he's doing. We need to give him a chance. This country was a mess. It was a mess. For him to try and sort it out. I know, Moeba lawyer, you've got a lot of constitutional jargon and all that, things to go on and all that. But how quickly can he sort out all the mess? Because he has to bring things right. The guy just needs a chance. Yes, he's bound by the constitutional laws and, things that have to be done within certain time frames. But this thing was a mess, So I think he's doing the best that he can, and he's going to get back to all of us. And I think all of us are going to be happy. I had other things that I wanted to pour my heart out, but I can't do that here. Maybe I'll do it in the background, in another background. But, Kwena, we need just to give him a chance. Let's give him a chance. He's doing the best he can. Abaleya. He just can't sack everybody at one time. He can't do what. And he's looking at the laws. Him is looking at, what should we do here? Is this all right for me to do this? Is this okay? He's asking, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? So he can't do that for every person at one time. He's a different person. So, and it's tough. And it's not one person that is going to look at. Probably all of them. Bonsefa talk with 115. Bonsebari wrong. So how is he going to manage that? Let's give him a chance and let's have a breather for him. I think he's doing the right thing. So give him space. And thank you very much to the Kaonde ladies. Me, I've been married to a Kaonde, Now, before she went for work, go to Australia, Poluchero says, are you happy to see me? Okay, to Asan someone, so it's a good life.
Did you say to Asansa? So, Viva. To Asanta. Did I hear you correct?
To Asan someone, Baluchazi, Bamobena, Northwestern province. Come on, guys. Nangutaula pakuli ya kuisa kwa wakati kumesa kunao not fair tisolie. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll stay here for the background.
Okay, I think we've got to conclude now and go into the background discussion. For those that who've not said anything, we're going to get your feedback in the background. We're trying to keep this as an hour, 30 minutes as possible. And so thank you very much for joining us. General has been experiencing difficulties with his line in spite of boasting. General, you were boasting when we started.
Munsha, I'm here. My line has been very bad, and I really wish I'd not said Dama level. But all the same, thank you so much for those who participated. And it's nice to see Linda Banks, and it's Vankulimba. You are invited for lunch tomorrow. We'll tell you the directions. And,
oh, great. How about me, General? How about me? I also want lunch.
Who's asking for lunch now?
Advocate Melissa.
Oh,
Advocate Melissa.
You're welcome. You can join Munsha. You're most welcome, sir. So I'll host you for lunch tomorrow. But thank you so much to all of you who have tuned in today. Fascinating day. My summary, Munsha, is I want to Chile fired tomorrow. Over to you.
Is that a summary? Wanting someone to be fired is a summary.
General Mlapepa.
But my summary is Mutamfi.
Linda Banks and our viewers. That Dr. the story we have about him, you know, if I was HH, I would have fired him on Wednesday. That man was responsible for a lot of terrible things, and that man, you know, I would have fired him on Thursday. So my request to HH, and I will make that request tomorrow. Dr. Chileshe should go. Simple.
Yeah.
And I know God says I should forgive, but Dr. Chileshe, I think HH forgot him on the list. He should add him on tomorrow and send him back to the farm. No this deployment. He has to go. That's my ask, Musha. That is my ask for Musaka. Is Dr. Chileshe has to go because he was horrible, he was unprofessional, and he was a cadre.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good night, and let's stay on for the background discussion. We'll see you tomorrow. This has been a presentation of TV Bakwetu. Elias Munsha here with my co-host, Mr. Norman Chipakupaku, as well as several other members of our team. Mr. Mukelabai, Mr. Nkulimba, Mr. Pesi Chama, Mr. Brian Pande, Mr. Wiseman. Even if Mr. Wiseman did not say anything today, Mr. Kelvin Chandakafuimbi, and Miss Linda Banks, and several other like Miss Beauty Deegan and Chola, and all of you. We are very proud of what you do for TV Bakwetu. God bless you and good night.